still hardly believe we managed to win against numbers like that. Oh, unless the real me is lying dead in Gronder, this is all just a happy dream.
How do I get to here? Oh, there we go.
We buried Lord Rodrigue's body ourselves. There wasn't time to do things properly. It pains me that I was unable to take him home to his territory. Once this war is over, I'd like to hold a proper funeral for him. For now, we need to focus on taking back Ferdiad. All will be well eventually. I know we can win.
Is that Ash? Yeah.
Anyway, I was born and raised in Fargus, but I've never actually been to Ferdiad. Do you think it'll still be cold at this time of year? I can't even imagine.
We should prepare for the cold. Yeah.
You're right. It's an important battle, so let's make sure we're ready for anything.
So many people died in the battle at Gronder. And here we are, preparing for the next battle as if nothing happened the day before. It's almost easier to think about war as theater, with the stage an entire continent.
No, after the size the show goes on, it really doesn't seem like a theater. Sure.
Something like that. If an accident happens on stage, the next day's performance must be unaffected. Everyone just pretends like everything is fine, focusing on their role in the play.
It's not like I don't get what like Dorothy is talking about. But like, what are the other options? Are we just supposed to like drop our like weapons and like let the Empire kill us? What's your like alternative here? I really started craving sweet when I'm tired or stressed out. I wish there was some kind of yummy confection that I could make with the limited ingredients available to us. No one will notice you use extra rations. Check whether it's a simple traditional recipe. You have to learn to live without sweets. Check the library. Yeah.
Whom I went to school with, on the field of battle. How inhuman war is, how horrifying. My heart feels shattered. It is my hope that this war marks the end of such foolish behavior.
I doubt it.
Need something? See you again soon.
I never used to care whether I lived or died, but after seeing so much death firsthand, I now realize how precious life truly is. I'm ashamed of how arrogant I was to think that death could mean so little.
You'll need to excel as a leader if he's to make up for my old man's death. Though if my father could see Dimitri now, he'd be glad to have made the sacrifice. Don't you dare tell anyone I said that.
I think this is also that we have like two quests both from they're both going to be from Gilbert. Gilbert has become our official guy that gives quests.
You've been spending a lot of time at the training ground, Mercedes. As far as swordsmanship goes, you're like a whole new person.
Thank you. I have such a great time when you teach me that improving comes naturally.
It's all because of your own hard work. Compared to you,
You shouldn't be so disappointed in yourself. You're improving too. You just need to keep at it.
Well, I can't hold a needle and thread without breaking anything now. That's something.
That's a big step. When we started, you couldn't even hold a pair of scissors without twisting them apart.
True. I'm sorry for being such a burden.
You're no bother at all. I like sewing with you. It reminds me of when I was young and my mother taught me how to sew. My mother would sit with my brother and me, and we'd all sew together. I really miss it. Even though I was barely better than you when I started. Did your mother like to sew, Dimitri?
My birth mother? From my father's accounts, she wasn't great at it either.
Oh, of course. I forgot that the Queen of Fargus passed away long ago.
Yes. I don't really remember what she was like. But I remember my stepmother, always sitting by the window sewing away.
I'm sure she would have been happy to teach you if you had asked.
She always looked so lonely when she was sewing. So unreachable. She was kind to me, yes, but when she was like that, it was hard to talk to her. I'm not certain she would have wished to teach me.
I'm so sorry, Dimitri. I didn't mean to bring up such difficult memories.
Don't worry about it. If I don't talk about those things sometimes, I'll risk forgetting them altogether. And that would truly be a shame.
I see.
But now I'm just going on and on about myself. Why don't you tell me more about you?
More about me? Oh, goodness. I don't even know what to say.
It's hard to think of something on the spot, isn't it? You could speak of your family, I suppose.
You want to know more about my family? On that topic, I'm happy to oblige. In fact, I'm so glad you asked. It's important to think about your past and share it every now and then. This might take a while, but would you be willing to stay and listen?
Of course. I will listen for as long as you wish.
Mercedes, you're looking divine as always.
Good evening, Sylvain. Thank you for coming out to see me.
Just the two of us meeting at this time of night? You moved quicker than I thought.
I don't know what speed has to do with it, but there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Ah, okay. I probably should have figured that out.
I can be so forgetful at times. I neglected to mention this the other day. I meant to say that I know you've been through a lot in this life.
Huh? Me?
Your parents have placed a great deal of pressure on you as their heir. And it's all because you were born with a crest. You had to put up with such lofty expectations.
All of the kingdom's noble houses expect a lot from their heirs. I'm no different from any other noble guy or gal. We've all got responsibilities.
But didn't you mention that your brother envied you enough to wish you dead? I'm sure that wasn't easy.
Thinking about it, life was probably a lot harder for my brother than it ever has been for me.
Didn't you also mention that women were only interested in having your, as you say, crest baby? I'm not very interested in the particulars, but I get the feeling that you don't care very much for these women who throw themselves at you.
I'd appreciate it if maybe you kept that observation between the two of us.
Your secret's safe with me. I understand the pain you've had to carry.
I know you've got your share of bad memories too, but
That's why you feel comfortable letting your guard down around me. Come now. That's enough with a sad smile.
Mercedes. Was my sad smile really that bad? Did it ruin my dashing good looks?
Not at all. You actually look more handsome to me with honesty on your face.
Aw,
on the waterworks.
Don't be ashamed of crying. I'm here to protect you. Will you protect me in return?
I will. I promise. You know, Mercedes, you really are a special lady.
Your Highness, I've come to apologize. I mismanaged my feelings and got carried away. I've been thinking about what might have made you say the things you did. I was so caught up in the moment and in my own feelings that I didn't think of what yours might be.
No, I should be the one to apologize. I did not intend to say such things. I lashed out like a child. You were right to rebuke me. I'm disgusted by my own inability to express myself. Will you allow me to explain?
Of course.
At the tragedy of Dusker, I saw countless corpses. Of course, I saw his, too. Glenn's. Ingrid, I doubt you would have been able to see him. They were unable to bring his body back, after all. He must have died an agonizing death, full of pain and regret. That is what I saw in his face. In that wasteland, there were no beautiful, proud deaths that could have been written about in heroic tales. Not one. I do not want you to die a death like that. Not even for the sake of loyalty or duty.
A king must at times order his soldiers and knights to fight and die on his behalf. Their lives must be used for the greater good. And this is something any good king understands innately. Any king who doesn't allow people to die on his behalf is too soft to rule well.
You leave me little room for argument. Have I disappointed you?
No. I chose to serve you because of how you are. As your knight, I will stand by your side and uphold your soft-hearted ideals.
What has changed, Ingrid? You were so obstinate the other day.
I've realized that I haven't been facing a very important truth. Because of you, I can finally move on. Thank you.
All right then, enough sparring for today?
Yes! That should suffice.
I must say, you've gotten good at seeing through my tricks. I can't mislead you so easily anymore.
I've made it my goal to read your aim and not give away anything through my body language.
But in hand-to-hand combat, your form needs work. On the battlefield, even if you lose your weapon, you can't ever stop fighting. Sink your teeth into their throats, kick them where it hurts. Do whatever it takes to survive.
Have you ever needed to employ such methods?
Not on the battlefield. I've never been in such a dire situation that I needed to. But at the tavern, loads of times. With a well-aimed boot, I've brought many a man to his knees. My point is, you can't hesitate to use dirty tactics. You have to grit your teeth and fight back. War isn't as pretty as it's made out to be in all those poems and songs. Sometimes, even as a knight, you have to do things that you might think are beneath you. You might even have to let innocent bystanders die. Are you prepared for that, Ingrid? Do you really want to be a knight, knowing what it entails?
I'm prepared to do whatever is requested of me, come what may. I will be a knight who loyally serves my king, just as you loyally serve Lady Rhea.
You've got me wrong. I'm loyal to the Archbishop, but only up to a point. I'd do anything in the world for Lady Rhea, except die. If she asked me to die for her, I wouldn't. Does that sound like a contradiction? Very well. That's just who I am.
You're right. It does sound like a contradiction. With all due respect, that isn't very knightly of you. I'm not sure I fully understand.
You will someday. Maybe not for a while. You will. In the meantime, just don't die, okay?
I'll try my best.
Alright, we got a few more. Let's talk to everybody else and then do the last few.
There's a school of sorcery in Fódlan, which is staffed by the top minds of magical research. The study of crests and sorcery should not be separate. I've often thought I should pay them a visit someday. I never imagined I might end up invading the place with an army, though. Not how I imagined it at all.
Professor, if we're headed to the kingdom capital, that means we're further away from rescuing Lady Rhea. But it can't be helped, can it? Perhaps some people will question this decision, but I trust your judgment. Lady Rhea would want us to help in Fódlan. She'd scold us if we rescued her and left innocent people suffering.
It seems we are headed for the kingdom capital this month. The Church of Seros stands ready to lend its aid to you and Dimitri. It may be a roundabout route, but I believe this path will still eventually take us to Rhea. Besides, saving the people of Fargus is just what she would want us to do.
My spear is at 8+ now, so that's cool.
Fighting with 3 different groups in the mix was as confusing as it was difficult to survive. Enemies and allies dying, one on top of the other. What an absolute mess, huh? If only I had my infirmary out in Gronder. Maybe I could have saved a few more lives.
But the less said about the last chapter's battle, the better. I know it's partially my fault for like not realizing the Alliance was an enemy. But like on the other hand, the game definitely didn't make it clear.
Claude, His Highness, all the house leaders from way back when assembled again at Gronder. I wonder what their thoughts were as they headed out to the battlefield.
Taking back the land of home has the most importance. That is why I am fighting. All for my land of home. Actually, there is more. I am also fighting for you, and for everyone here.
My gratitude.
Sure.
Thank you very much. I am very grateful to you. I could never have achieved this on my own. This is all thanks to you and Lord Rodrigue. This month, we will invade Fódlan by way of the Fraldarius domain. Leave the negotiations with House Fraldarius to me. You make ready for the actual battle. It's a tricky business, but we are taking our first steps forward. I have a request.
Find some flowers, give them to Gilbert as gifts. There's demand for flower, not yet gathered. Sure.
This month, we leave the negotiations. It's a tricky business.
Isn't there like 2 quests? Oh no, there's only one. The other one, okay, I see. The other one was a, the deliver is the last month. Okay, I see.
The battle at Gronder Field was gruesome, wasn't it? But perhaps it's irresponsible to look away. To close our eyes to the horrors of war.
I agree.
As survivors, we must ensure that all these lives were not lost in vain. We must see the tragic foundations upon which we'll build our future. May an age of peace rise from the ashes, so that all this sacrifice means something.
Hi there!
Thank you. Yeah, I'm done here. Yeah.
I need to be speaking.
Have my gratitude. This month, leave the nigga. It's a tricky business. Thank you.
Motivation increase. Sure. Alright, I'm actually gonna go fish. I'm gonna go fish, watch all of the cutscenes, and then share a meal. Then I'm done with today's stream. Yep, here we go, fishing again. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to A+ after this.